Was this a bad idea to order all this stuff and walk? We're at 11. Hello, friends and enemies. It's me, V. Oh, something's in my eye. Something's in my eye. When my eyes twitches like this, it's either dog or cat hair. And all of my coworkers, except maybe two people, have either a dog, a cat, or both. And I'm feeling it in my eyes right now. Fuck. And why am I touching? Oh my god. Either that or my clothes that I washed were near cat hair. Oh. I found cat hair on my cat hair. It looks like cat hair. Could be dog hair. I found it inside of my jacket. And I rubbed my eye with the jacket before I started this. So, yay! We're off to a great start. And my eye hopefully won't swell. But I kind of feel like it's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna. Oh, shit. We gotta make this quick as possible. Thoughts and opinions are of my own. They're not the thoughts and opinions of my current job. Let's go. Now, first things first. As you saw from my first thing, I got Dunkin'. I got this. It has not glowed in the dark yet, but I just got to find a great source of light, and then we'll get it done. Now, some stuff kind of fucking imploded in my face where I started crying hysterically. First things first, I watched The Loss of a Teardrop Diamond. That movie and the ending fucked with me. It fucked with me. Because I felt like I was Fisher in that boisterous, I self-sabotage. And the thing that she said to me that I'll never, the thing she said to Jimmy, who was played by, Fisher is played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and Jimmy is played by Chris Evans. So there's a scene in the movie where she says to him, I know no one's ever going to love me, but maybe you could get used to me. And I fucking lost my shit. I cried. And then I stopped crying and I'm like, okay. And then I got home and I thought about it some more. And then I fucking cried some more. Because here's the thing. To say it out loud. And not only out loud, but to a person that you love, that you like. She said, I love you. And he was like, you could do better than me. And she's like, I know no one's ever going to love me. And if you marry me, I can help your family. And he decides to marry her after rejecting her. And what do I mean by rejection? Oh, I mean, when she went to go touch his face, he went like this. And then she was like ready to walk off. And I saw that. And it upset me and made me cry. That's why I cried. Because I was like, I'd rather be a rich spinster than be in a marriage where someone does not even like me. I have to beg him to get used to me. And then that made me think about my life in general and this whole thing that I've been working myself up to. My life. I remember I was 10 or 11 and someone sent me at school a chain letter that said that if you don't send it to everybody else, you will never find love in your life and no one will ever love you back. I got scared and my mom's like, it's just a chain letter. It's stupid. And I was like, I blame you. You don't, you want me to be miserable. I want to find love. And my mom's like, oh my God. And she recorded it. She wrote it down. After it happened, she put it in my baby book. Like all the terrible shit I've done, she's put in my fucking baby book. I don't know why. That seems like some type of medieval torture or some psychological trickery. But she put it in the baby book. So I read the baby book when I was in my 20s and went, oh my God, I'm a terrible child. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, from then on, I have liked people and they have not liked me. They have made it clear by telling me I was ugly. I've been called Shrek. I've been called manly. And this is before the PCOS brought out the beard and made my beard like really gray and just like abundant. Because when I was in my early 20s, there was like maybe a little bit of stubble, but it was mostly a mustache. You can deal with that. And then as I got older, started to do that. But I had guys that would be like, you're manly. I had a couple of friends where they said stuff. Now, one of them, I understand. They were sick at the time. I didn't know that they were going through sick, health issues. So I was like, "Ooh, you're kind of skinny." And they were like, and a bunch of people have said that to him. So I take full responsibility. I shouldn't have said it because they said, like, you're talking about my skinniness. What if, I talked about you being fat and everything? And I was like, "Ooh, sorry." Because I shouldn't have talked about their weight. It wasn't my place to. The second person I had a crush on, and I was joking with him, but I realized I said something inappropriate that they were sensitive about that I didn't, and I take responsibility for that because they were like, "Well, no man ever wants to date a woman with a mustache and a Dunlap," and then he points at my stomach, and I was like, "Okay, fuck you." I've known I was ugly since age 4. I've had people tell me to my face, "You're ugly." And the thing is, it wasn't my parents. It wasn't my immediate family. Like, it wasn't mom, dad, it wasn't my sister. It would be my friends' parents. It would be classmates' parents or classmates or teachers or other family members who would be like, "Oh, look at your best friend, Erin. She's so pretty. Look at your other best friend, Shannon. Look at how black, not black, but they'd be like, look how dark her skin is. It's so pretty. It's perfect complexion, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love her hair." And then they'd look at me and then they'd be like, "Oh, hey, Veronica." And they would do that stuff. And I have been chasing a dream of finding love and thinking, like, I've always been alone. And I've told you guys the difference between being alone and being lonely. I've been alone. I've gone to movie theaters by myself. I have no issue with that. I've done a lot of stuff. Have I been lonely in crowds where everybody talks to everybody and I feel like I'm ignored? No one really gives a shit? Yeah, plenty of times. And I just thought that, and that's the thing, when you make plans, God laughs. I always thought, oh, someone will find me attractive, and for me, they won't base it on my boobs or what I can give them, but they'll be like, "I like you. I like your personality. You're funny. You're sweet. You're cool." And it hasn't happened. And I've seen people go and be like, I've seen other women make videos where they're like, "You know what? I'm okay being alone for the rest of my life." I always thought that I would, in my mind of when I wrote, like, where I saw myself, I said I would have kids, I would be married. So, the whole curse that we have from my family of, marriage is never sticking, it would die once I got married, stayed married, and all these different things. Always picture that, and kids. And PCOS. I'm 30. I'm gonna be 36 in a month. There's a good chance I'm probably not gonna have kids, which is probably a good thing. Because when you think about it, so many people are like, "I want kids, but they can't tell you why." I would like to adopt kids, but then I'm seeing videos where people are talking about how their kids, how adoption is, it's traumatic for both the birth mother and also the birth child. And how sometimes people are like, "I picked you and you should be grateful for this or that." Or they've thrown things back in the adopted child's face. And they've been like, "Well, you aren't really my kid." Or people have purposely, adopted kids out of foster care without really thinking, like, foster care is supposed to be this thing of where the child gets to go back home. Because when it's foster care, you got to think of, why is this child in foster care? A lot of times it has to do with housing, money, or or health. And that could be physical health, mental health, emotional health. Money comes into a lot of things because Raising a kid is expensive as fuck. And if you don't have a job that has great insurance or good insurance or hell insurance, you are fucked. $30,000 for a fucking kid in the United States of America. Why? Why? And then you've got money, which again, if you don't have a great paying job, how are you going to be able to afford your apartment that now is being racked up to $1,000 by a landlord? When it used to be $775 and you're barely reaching it in there because Target cut your fucking hours. And people are like, well, why don't you get a second job? Because Target wants you to have an open availability so they can only work you for 3 days and making sure you stay under 32. You have to stay under 32 in order to not qualify for insurance. So that's what a lot of Targets did. That's what my Target used to do. Or I don't know if they still do it, but that's what they did. Once they kicked us up to $10 plus an hour. $10 plus an hour. But yeah. And so I've been thinking, like, I've been looking at pick-a-card readings of when will you find the one. I've been looking at, you remember when I did the tarot readings of what will my future spouse look like? And now I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just quit. I've been searching for this person for 32 years. I'm going to be 36. They haven't come. I don't know if I've ever been in love. I thought I've been in love twice, but now I look at it and I go, I think it was lust. Like, I love my family and I would die for them. But those other people, I think it was just lust. No, I know it was lust. And as I sit here, I'm like, would I know what love is? No. There's a reason why I don't say I love you to people. I say to my best friend, but otherwise, if I'm talking to other people that aren't related to me, I'll be like, oh, I like you. I adore you. You're cool. Or I try to change the subject because I've used love so much when in relationships. And I've used I love you as an excuse for someone to break up with me if I didn't want to be with them anymore. Because at the time, I did not fucking want to be the bad person. So instead I'd be like, oh, I love you. And then they would get creeped out and they would break up with me and I would be happy. That is some fucked up shit, but that's shit I did. And you might as well know it. So that's where I am standing right now. Originally, I was going to do a video about fat phobia. Instead, I am doing a video about my love life. And I am at this moment thinking to myself, why am I still searching? Like, at the end of the day, just fucking give up. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And as much as I want kids, maybe I'm just not meant to have kids. Maybe my life is just, donating to places so kids can have fun. Being a Santa, being a male when they have, in the United States, the post office will have this thing where it will say, hey, you can go get these items for the kids, and then they have, Christmas. I could do that. I think I will do that. So yeah, I am currently not looking for a boyfriend or husband anymore. I don't know how. If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't come, he doesn't come. But at this time, at this thing, I need to figure out what the fuck it is that I want to do with my life. Because I've always thought I would get married, I would continue doing whatever, but I would support him. And now I'm like, it hasn't come. And am I really alone? Am I more alone than I am right now? By me saying I'm not looking. So that's where I'm at right now. Oh shit, it's 15. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll talk to you guys later. And as always, fuck Tom Brady.